I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Report of any executive sessions?
There were none held.
Before public comment, I would like to recognize that a talk group is here for the civics and stuff. And Mike, if you want to, or where's their teacher? Do you want to give them a break? Do you want to? I didn't see it. Do you want to stand up and just tell them what you're here for your class?
Yes, so we have students from the Schuylkill area high school with us today. These are students in the AP government course, which AP is essentially a college level course taught at the high school. Mostly sophomores are with us today, and we have a few seniors that were able to fit into their schedule. And there's a civics project component to this course, in which students are asked to participate in something within their local government, so we're here satisfying that today.
Our graduating seniors, do you want to just raise your hand so everybody?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Good luck to you.
And then I want to bring attention on the first floor of the courthouse. There's I'm fine Schuylkill County. It's when you get a chance, go look at it. We ask kids across school districts in Schuylkill County to scope mass about mental health and to start conversations of mental health awareness and everything. So that's displayed on the first floor of the courthouse. It's something really interesting to take a look at, and some of the statements and some of the school districts that have participated. We're Schuylkill High School, Pine Grove Area High School, Shenandoah Valley High School, Blue Mountain High School, and Pottsville Area High School. So if you want to go up and look on that at the first floor of the courthouse, that's a really neat thing to look at. Let's move on to public comment.
Morning, George.
Morning.
George Stenkovich, Paliato. Yes, I hope these young people here are going to learn something today, that there are senior citizens and veterans that are getting nothing from the government right now. They're getting pushed around. And I mean local, I mean state, and I mean federal. So when you young people if you get into politics, remember this meeting. There's people hurting that worked their whole lives, that increases in taxes is getting ridiculous. I myself are going to be out 55 years, and I'm still paying an outrageous, and I mean outrageous. They have nothing to do with school tax, but school tax is getting so outrageous that people are losing their homes right and left. And there's got to be something done. It was a wrong policy back whenever they started this 200 years ago, whatever, they thought that was the way to cover for schools. And it's not. It's not a fair tax. And they have this assessment going on right now, and they're saying fair market value. And it's a lot of hooey-falooey if they would take what the persons are making in salary, and that's how it would be fair market for everybody. If you have $100,000 job and somebody that's a family that's only making $25,000 or $20,000 a year, it's not fair market. I don't care what they say, it's not fair market. Senior citizens are being pushed out of their homes. Veterans are losing their homes. They're living in tents. That is not a nice thing for the United States of America, to treat the elderly like that, to treat their veterans that went to war so we have freedoms. I'll fight for them with my last breath. And this is a crime, and it's all through all government. They should come up with a better idea. It's time to do it. Now, I'm saying this statement, and I hope anybody that hears my voice is going to start fighting. And what you do is go to the governor, you go to the senators, the congressmen, and federal government. These people are getting away with murder because they're treating people like they're dogs, piece of dirt, and it's not right. It's time for a change. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Morning, Jeff.
Morning.
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. Congratulations, you guys, for coming here and doing that. Many moons ago, I won't say how many years ago, but I did a high school project my senior year. And that landed me as mayor of my small town while I was still serving in high school. Here I am, over 2 decades later, still trying to do what's right, hold people accountable, and so best of luck. And what's that? Well, I said around 2 decades. Keep up the good work, and best of luck to all of you, and continue to educate yourself the best you can. And looking to run up for public office. If you're interested in government, that's a good thing to get into and serve your community. I still have no update on Lisa Stevens, so I just want to mention that like I always do every week. I see Teresa's here. We had some words earlier. First time I've seen her in a year and a half. Again, last year, less than 100 hours to make a $96,000 a year salary. So if you guys do run for office and get elected, make sure you work for what you're paid for. According to the consent decree, I know, Larry, you'd mentioned about possibly voting no to certify the reassessment.
We have to vote on the certification of what the millage will be.
Right, because it's according to paragraph 23, it clearly states it must be completed. Mr. Dowdy can explain this differently if I misread it, but it would be a clear violation of terms of the consent decree, and they could have a motion to enforce a settlement, correct, if that's not accepted?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So, again, transparency, guys. If you run for office, make sure you're transparent with the taxpayers, because trying to get answers here is like pulling teeth from a baby.
Well, no, if I would vote no, I'm gonna vote no matter what. I don't care what the ramifications are for me.
I understand that, but if the majority of you guys vote no to
Then, yes,
certify,
then we have to deal with a judge.
then they can come and enforce the consent.
Well,
decree.
They can attempt to.
they can attempt to, and then my argument would be the separation of powers.
Right.
That we're the executive branch of the county.
So then we're gonna, possibly if it gets to that point, because these two won't answer whether they're gonna do it or not, that would get into a legal dispute, which would cost more money, which could have went towards fighting it in the first place to possibly prolong it, to get the property values down. Because some people, and just to explain it to the kids here, used to be able to get taxed on 50% of your property value. Now it's going to 100%. When I asked about that, and I know they're dropping the millage rates, but in future years, upping at a mill is going to impact the people more.
So
When
I'll give you a time, Jeff. So yes, been studying this like crazy. So yes, the county right now is looking at, we're at like 19 point some mils. So after, if you do 100% of the value, we'll come down to 4 mils. If we do 50% of the value, we come down to 8 mils. It still generates the same piece of pie, same amount of money. The school districts accordingly, because that's where the big issue is. Because usually your school, municipality and your county are more fiscally responsible and don't raise taxes historically as much as school districts do.
Right.
So like Blue Mountain will go down, they're at 45 mils roughly, I think, right around 45 mils. They'll come down to 9 mils. Now, the argument is that if we go to 50% value, they'll go down to 18 mils. So when if they increase 1 mil, it won't have as much as an impact. But if you need, the example I use always is with the county. Last year we had to raise the millage to cover 911, just say that 2.5 million. After the reassessment, 1 mil for the county, if you do the math right, it'll be worth $10 million, 1 mil. So if we need $2.5 million in 2027, we would have to raise it a quarter mil, not 1 mil.
Right.
And hopefully, and I understand the argument, because I was talking to somebody about it today, school districts have a tendency to raise taxes more, that they're capped by, what's the law, Paul, that caps the school districts?
In general, you mean? or-
Yeah, in general.
I'm not sure.
But they're capped at how much they can raise their millage in a given year, but they have to go, unless they get a special thing from the court. So I understand I have a better understanding what the concern is today when I talked to a guy this morning on the way in here about it, is that the school districts are the one that most people are fearful of, because like you're saying, if their mill's worth $10 million,
Right.
and they go, oh, we're gonna raise a mill, instead of being fiscally responsible and saying, well, we only really need a quarter mil.
And they're the biggest impact that you're gonna see on your tax bill as well.
Is
So
the
that's,
school district, that's
right.
the way it historically is.
I mean, I have people messaging me, I went through, because we talked last week about how many people are reaching out to me, and you said, oh, is that all you got? 64 people messaged me.
Well, I've got a
contact
ton
me.
of calls, there's people that have gone up, there's people that are staying the same, there's people that have gone down. A lot of the Tamaqua School District, for some reason, a lot of people I talked to in Tamaqua, that are stayed the same and went down.
That's to
A
keep your,
few-
that's to keep your voting base, right?
Yeah, that's why, I have that much power.
But there's people,
But in Lake Winona, people that seen their values of their home increase drastically have only seen a small increase in their, after the reassessment of it, even though their value of their home went up 5 times much. Like I have mine here with me, my reassessment.
Right.
I went from $38,000, so half, up to $219,000 or $220,000. My taxes are going up, my county taxes, my local taxes, and well, I'm in Blue Mountain, they raise taxes every year. Like, it's just a given.
part of life.
In the Blue Mountain School District, it's a given.
But I mean, there's people that are, I had one person over the weekend, elderly, fixed income, retired, went up 19 times their value.
But how much of
The
their
property
tax
is
go-
not, it went up $300, just in the county went up
just in the
$300.
county?
They're concerned about the school district, and their property, the 2 parcels they have are close to $1 million value. They wouldn't get $500,000 for it if they sold
And
it.
that's why that's why I'm encouraging everybody, I know, like, I sat down, I went down and watched the informal reviews. I went there and watched them be done, just because I went out of curiosity. And then the formal, I'm encouraging everybody that if they think their value is wrong, in any way, if you don't like, I look at mine and I think, Blue Mountain School District, New Ringgold, I could probably sell it for somewhere in that area. I think mine's pretty spot on.
Right.
My neighbor thinks his is pretty spot on, because he brought it right over to me, because his taxes went up some. He came right over, like, what's this value? Now, do I think some are overvalued? Yes. So I'm encouraging everybody to take advantage of the formal review, once our formal notices go out. And one of the questions you asked is, are you gonna be able to see everybody else's values in July? I think it's July 1.
Yeah, well,
They're
you
all
were in that
gonna go
email
up.
that Tim sent back, yeah.
July 1, and I asked them to see if they can put on, this is what your old value was, this is your new value, so you can see it.
Yeah, because you can't compare your neighborhood or your neighbors.
Yeah,
And
well, that's what.
If it's a like house, you wanna compare it
That's right.
in the neighborhood, so
Yep. So
I'm glad to hear that's coming up.
That's coming in July. I
Okay.
knew it was in the work, but I didn't know the exact date.
Yeah, because people will need that for the formals,
Yeah, so
because
they can make the
they,
thing.
I mean, the elderly on fixed income, if they can't afford these taxes, they can't afford a lawyer and a reassessment
And
and a
well, see, and
yeah.
that's the thing too, I wanna bring this to the public's attention. For the formal review, you don't necessarily, this isn't a tax assessment appeal review. It's a formal review during reassessment, so you can bring in, if you have a recent bank appraisal, if you had your house listed with a realtor, and they did all the comps and everything, they can look at other information that isn't necessarily,
But they want that within the last couple months. Tim told me the last 3 months for a comp. So, I mean, that gets tough because now realtors aren't gonna wanna do comps
well, what I'm
because they're
just
gonna
saying
think that's
is,
what it
if
is.
you have stuff, or do the research on it,
Right.
and go to the formal review process. I'm encouraging everybody that, because I've gotten phone calls and people's values went crazy,
Right.
so.
That's the
Okay,
formal,
thank you.
you're talking about the
The
formal appeal.
The formal appeal,
process.
yeah, process,
Right.
starting after July 1st, that starts.
Right.
Okay,
Thanks.
thanks, Jeff. Any other public comment?
This is my first time ever here at a meeting like this.
Could you give your name and your
Municipality.
Susan Reed. That's from Schuylkill, whatever you want to call it. Land of bumpy roads. First off, I'd like to talk about the county taxes. Now, Jeff was just speaking about the elderly people being pushed out of their homes. I am one of those people. My taxes for the county, nothing changed. Nothing changed in my household for 20-some years. That tax went up $56. I have no idea why.
We had a tax increase in 2025 of 3.25 mils. To
And-
cover expenses for 911, healthcare, and a shortage for mental health funding.
And how much of that is being sent for covering one of the commissioners or whoever he was here that did wrongdoing?
The lawsuit was settled, it was $1.7 million that the county paid towards the lawsuits. So out of that 1.7, the rest all came out of our insurance carriers.
So therefore, we, the people, have to come up with the 1.7,
Well, it was,
and that's why the taxes went up.
no, the taxes went up, we had the money for the 1.7, we had the money for the settlement. The taxes went up because there was a shortfall of funding on 911 of $2.4 million. The healthcare for the county went up drastically.
I know, that's probably spam.
They're probably trying to tell you call a car warranty. Hello, has your car warranty out?
Like I said, it's spam.
It's- So that was the reason for the tax increase in 2025. Plus, we were trying to budget for 2 years, because in 2026, you're capped because of the reassessment.
Okay, now that's my second thing about this reassessment. I have heard everybody's getting this paper stating to the fact of how much their home is worth. Well, I haven't gotten that yet.
Well, there is a next batch that's going out because there was some residential properties that had to be in review. That if there was a question about them, if they couldn't, some of them were denied, if people denied them access to it, they did theirs last. So that I know there is still some sporadically throughout the county that are going out with this last batch. And I believe the last batch is the commercial properties too. I think that's what they said, they're going out Monday or Tuesday.
Well,
So yours could be in that batch,
I spoke to the two ladies.
okay?
I told them exactly what was in my house.
Okay.
Why didn't I have it yet? Is
I
it
don't-
because I'm classified a bungalow?
No, that shouldn't have any bearing on that. If you provide, your name and address, I'll call Vision and ask them why you didn't get your letter, and I'll see where it's at.
Well, I talked to Vision last week. The girl told me, oh, there's a mail mix-up. Always
Oh.
blame the postal service. Always blame them. Okay, yeah, they could screw it up. I ain't saying they're perfect. Nobody's perfect. But she says call back on Tuesday. Well, I didn't call her yesterday because I wanted to come here
Okay.
and see what's going on.
If you provide your information, I'll look into it when the meeting's over.
I mean, there's no reason why I didn't get one. It did the
There
fifth.
is a few people that did, like the data verification mailer. I think Jeff and I were the last people to get them in the county. Like mine, everybody else around me got theirs, and I got mine, how late? I know Jeff did too.
I mean, I got this reassessment data verification. It doesn't have a date on it, imagine that. But I know I got that in 2004. 24. So, like, if they have this, and then if you look at our parcel, first off, the parcel had the wrong owner's name on it.
Now, did you do an informal review to fix your information, or,
Who am I gonna talk to?
well, because I gotta move on with the meeting, can you Heather, do you have a pen and paper? Write down your name and address and phone number, and I'll get in contact with Vision when this is done to make sure they contact you, to make sure that you can have the informal review and to make sure you get your change of notice, estimated change of notice mail. Because I know it could be, listen, I know that nobody wants to hear, it could be lost in the mail, or it could be in this last batch that's going out. Because I know they have one more batch going out.
Okay, another question I have is,
Yeah,
do you have control over the Department of Streets,
no,
the
the
water
county-
company?
no, the county does not. We have two roads, the entrance to Penn State and High Ridge Industrial Park. That's the only two roads Schuylkill County has. Your roads, your water, depending on if it's the municipal authority or the city of Pottsville or Tamaqua, that's a local issue. If you're in Pottsville, it's a Pottsville issue.
And where do you go to speak about that?
The Pottsville council meeting, but I don't know, Jeff, do you know, are you Ashland? Second. Are you Ashland or Pottsville?
I'm Pottsville.
Okay, second Monday of the month at 6 p.m. at City Hall.
Monday.
Yep.
Okay,
Second Monday.
second Monday. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Any other public comment?
Good morning,
Good morning.
Melinda Diver, North Manheim Township. I'd like to say welcome and thank you for coming, all the students here today from, is it Tamaqua School District? Thank you for your attendance today. You obviously have a teacher who is extremely vested in your future success. He's wanting you to come and see your government on a county level. Thank you very much for coming. There is the primary election will be coming up next Tuesday, May 20th. So for those of you who are old enough and you have registered to vote, I would highly recommend that you come out to vote next Tuesday. I would like to put in a personal plug for someone who is going to be running for the district magistrate race. It's the District 21-3-04. It covers the western and southern parts of Schuylkill County. And the candidate that I would like to endorse or give a plug, my personal plug, is Marty Sowers. Judge Rossi will be retiring from that position, but it is going to be a crowded field. We wish Judge Rossi the best for his retirement and all the success. Marty Sowers is extremely vested in his community and county. He volunteered many hours of his time for midget football for 19 years. He has coached baseball, t-ball, softball for 10 years. So he has absolutely given back to his community. He's interested in the youth, trying to make sure that kids are receiving good moral, ethical instruction along with, his expertise in sports. He serves as the Municipal Services Manager for Light Schuylkill. This position has given him insight into many of the underlying problems of the district which he would be serving. He has conservative values. He will protect our constitutional rights and liberties. He has the proper set of ethics, morals, character, principles to serve in that position. He is not a politician. He's trustworthy, he's honest. He is interested in securing the safety, security, and constitutional rights of every citizen within that district. So if at all possible, I would extend the invitation. If you could vote for Marty Sowers, I would appreciate it.
What we're talking about is the magistrate district courts. That's where the law starts with the people. You know, if it's a civil matter, criminal matter, it starts on a local level at the magistrate's district office. So they're a judge. It's very important. They make massive decisions on if it goes on to court, if charges are held over or not held over. So it's I guess considered like the people's court because that's where you start. And a civilian can run for it. You don't have to be a lawyer like our DAs here. To be a DA, you have to have law degree to be a lawyer. Where the district magistrate, it's considered the people's court because you don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be in law enforcement. Just about anybody can run for a district magistrate, and then you take courses, and it's where the law starts at the district magistrates.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, Tamaqua, Steve Bayer is Tamaqua's district magistrate. Shenandoah, Platchko, Jimmy Riley, Rossi, who am I missing? Parentelli, that's it. So, and AJ Serena in Orangeburg is our magistrates throughout Schuylkill County.
Tom Williams, Tamaqua. I see some of the kids here. I'm glad to have you guys here today because I'm called to pour into youth. I do that through youth football. I also do that through a commander in what is called the Royal Rangers. It's a Christian Boy Scout type of program where we just teach boys to become men. So I'm glad to have you guys here today because the first thing I want to say is, unlike this gentleman here, I'm a disabled vet and I'm very happy with the way that the government takes care of me. I can tell you, I'm thankful. And, you know, I have no health insurance to worry about, anything like that, any costs like that. All things are covered for me. So I don't have any of that. I don't have that experience, not to mention the Marine Corps, they taught us how to take care of ourselves. So if there's a homeless Marine out there, then I want to talk to him because there shouldn't be. He should, you know, even if it's digging a hole out in the woods and taking care of himself out there, he should be able to do that. So he should never be homeless living under a bridge or something. Most important thing I can say to you guys today is, and I didn't plan on this, just having you guys in here is a blessing, so I just want to pour this into you, is when you deal with government, it's important for you to remember that they are there to serve you. I can't tell you, this is the biggest thing for me. Stand on your morals and values, stand on your principles, do not fear the government. You have no reason to fear them. I mean, they're going to try and intimidate you, trust me. They're going to try and do that, but don't let them do it, you know. You got to stand on that. You got to stick with one another. You got to educate yourself on what your rights are. Because it's another thing, is your rights cannot be taken away. They can only be surrendered. And only you can surrender those. They're given to you by the Creator. And so you guys need to remember that. That's where our rights come from. They come from God, not from government. One more thing while we're there. Also, when you vote, make sure you understand what you're voting for. What you don't want, okay, is you don't want a guy who's been a liberal for 40 years switching parties, okay, and calling himself a Republican because that's what he needs to get elected in an area like this, like our DA, Michael Pake. I would vote for Snoopy before I voted for that guy. So a little advice for you. Make sure you do your research on your candidates. Now, what I came here for was taxes. You're going to get to hear something that's probably the first time in the country of the United States. I'm here to complain because my taxes went down. My complaint is, A, I've been paying too much tax for too long, first of all. Second of all, the rate that they're taxing me at. If somebody here wants to buy my house for what they're appraising it for, I'll sell it to you today because it's twice what I paid for it 4 years ago. And so I'm not sure how they assessed my house at double the value I paid only 4 years ago. So that's my complaint on the taxes. And secondly is the roads. I don't know what's going on with our roads, but I could tell you, like, my car is in my mechanic shop right now and he is killing me. I mean, my bill is outrageous because of the roads out there. So I'm not sure what we're doing with the roads, but I know my mechanic's loving it. So that's really.
I'm his mechanic, his car's at my house, I'm working on it for him. That's right, I gotta make it up somewhere. He's driving a GL 450 Mercedes. Yeah. Oh, while we're talking about reassessment, Melinda, did you ask about information on the nonprofit? Last time you said about the information for the nonprofit?
Oh, the owners,
Yeah,
is that it?
yeah, this is the person, this is the information. And they tout how they sue counties.
Can I have that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know if anybody else wants one, I have another copy. So let's move on with the meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the commissioners' meeting minutes of April 23rd?
So moved, sir.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes?
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the commissioners' work session of May 7th?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by the grant writers at our work session?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by real estate at our work session?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented at our work session by children and youth?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by drug and alcohol at our work session?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by MIS at our work session?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by our county administrator at our work session?
Motion to approve the workforce request.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Human resources. Can I have a motion to approve what was presented at the work session by human resources?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Finance, new business for finance. It's all informational, so don't need a motion on that. Human resources, personnel actions.
So some of this was presented last week, do I still want me to read it all?
No, it was presented at the work session, no. Whatever that's new, I'll read now.
Alright, one thing I wanna update is in the Human Resource Office, last week, we presented 2 appointments for Office Support Secretarial. The second one, Dina Gunther, has turned down the job now, so we're going to rescind that action. So if you can cross that one off your list.
Okay.
A new addition was Parks and Recreation, the appointment of Roger Brown as a boat rental clerk per diem at a rate of $12, effective 5/19/25.
Okay.
And under the district attorney's office, we do have some new information. Last week it was presented about Luke Joyce. This week we're adding the appointment of Julie Wirt as a part-time assistant district attorney, effective 6/2/25, and the appointment of, let's see, I guess that's Tatiana Hardy, unpaid intern, effective 5/27, and that will end approximately 8/22. Juvenile probation was presented last week. So with the controller's office and in the sheriff's office, we're appointing 2 unpaid interns, Michael Fellon and Devin Hubler, both effective 5/19, and it's not noted, but they both end approximately 8/15/25. All appointments are pending drug test and physical, and all actions involving salary for positions being created are pending salary board approval.
The planning and zoning was the appointment of,
You didn't mention that one yet.
Oh, okay, planning and zoning, appointment of Alex Darlington as an intern, effective 5/21/25, and that's temporarily for 12 weeks.
okay, next week's, meeting is going to be Thursday, May 22nd, because of the election.
We need action on the three items.
Oh,
in the
which
front.
three?
Human
The resource.
resources.
Can I have a motion on the human resource, planning and zoning, and parks and recreation?
Yeah,
I'll make a
we're
mo-
deleting
We're
the
deleting the one.
Genther.
Yep.
So I'm making a motion on the one for human resources for Heather, the one for planning and zoning for Alex, and the one for parks and recreation for Roger Brown.
Second.
On question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, just to explain to the students why we kind of ran through the meeting very quickly. We meet, we have a work session on the 1st and the 3rd, and then our regular Board of Commissioners are on the 2nd and 4th. When at a work session, a lot of this was brought up, so we have a week to discuss it and so forth, and also for the public for their input. So it sounded like everything was just thrown out there. So again, this was presented last week with a full week to look it over and so forth. So just wanted to let you know on how that all works.
That's a good point Mr. Hess made. Each department that comes in and presents that information, and we have a chance to ask questions and get some more information about it. Like I say, it looked like it was pretty much a rush through, but it wasn't. It was all detailed very heavily last week at the work session meeting, so.
Did any of the students want to say anything? An opportunity? No? Okay. Wanted to give you the opportunity, so.
Motion to adjourn.
Salary board, report of any executive sessions,
None held.
public comment for salary board?
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. I figure if I get up and talk, that's less time you gotta get back to school, right?
Oh, I think they'll be,
I have,
they gotta have lunch.
I have 3 minutes, so that's 3 minutes so you don't have to go back to school. Right? Real quick, the tax, no, I'm good. The tax assessment, money moving, I didn't look out there. Is that just a budget line item, and is it,
It's just, it was already budgeted for that, yeah, it was part of the contract.
and then to go back on, because I didn't follow up with the 50 to 100%, I know how you broke it down and explained it, but was there any action taken on that as far as a vote or being brought, I don't recall it ever being brought up in an agenda.
I don't remember it being done,
Okay.
and I don't know if it was done prior. I don't know, but
Because according to Tim Barr yesterday, I don't know if you've seen that in email,
Yep.
but it says that since the original reassessment RFQ, request for the quote, contract discussions, early planning and public meetings, the plan has been to go to 100%. And he says 100% is easier for the public to understand as it allows them to see the real valuation of the property value, which I think is sort of degrading to the taxpayers, that they wouldn't be able to understand things. But again, the 50 to 100, I'd like to know if that was voted on, when it was voted on, and a roll call vote, because I don't ever remember it being done.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's
To
legal.
the best of my knowledge, that both companies gave that as part of their presentation.
That's not what we're talking about.
that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not saying about a presentation, I'm saying about implementing it and enforcing it, because if it's not brought up to raise it from 50 to 100, how can we then be enforcing that on the public? So, if
Jeff,
you,
it's a point well taken. We are looking into that.
okay,
Yep.
you let me know then, thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Any other public comment for salary board? If not, we'll move on to meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the salary board minute meetings of April 23rd.
So moved.
Second?
Any question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Controller Yekenship. Yes.
A motion to approve the salary board work session minutes from May 7th.
So moved.
Second?
On question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Controller Yekenship. Yes.
Human resource, personnel actions.
Thank you, Commissioner. In the planning and zoning office, we're creating a position of an intern effective 5/21/25. And in planning and zoning, we're setting the salary of Alex Darlington as an intern at a rate of $15 per hour, effective 5/21/25. Parks and Recreation, we're setting the salary of Roger Brown of boat rental per diem at a rate of $12 per hour, effective 5/19/25. In the District Attorney's Office, we're eliminating the position of a full-time Assistant District Attorney, and that will be effective 6/2/25, and they're creating 2 part-time Assistant District Attorney positions, effective date 6/2/25. We're setting the salary of Julie Wirt as the part-time Assistant District Attorney, with a salary of $43,684.45, effective 6/2/25. We're setting the salary of Luke Joyce as the clerk at a rate of $18 per hour, effective 5/27/25. In juvenile probation, we're setting the salary of the site coordinators at a rate of $14.28, all effective 6/2, for William Mongreen, Kelly Goodman, Donovan Copeland, Lauren Hammer, and Jetta Van Fleet. In the Controller's Office, we're eliminating the position of accountant auditor fixed assets, effective 5/19/25, and they're creating the position of accountant auditor associate, effective 5/19/25. We're setting the salary of Angela Boris as the accountant auditor associate at a rate of $51,008.06, effective 5/19. And Controller's Office, they're requesting a wage adjustment for Sud Patel as a solicitor to $3,594.70, effective 5/19/25.
Can I have a motion on the planning and zoning and parks and recreation?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Controller Yekenship.
Yes.
Can I have a motion for the 4 district attorney positions?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Controller Yekenship.
Yes, but I do want to make you aware, even though it's a part-time district attorney, they do get paid benefits, going from 1 to 2, but yes, I do agree.
And we have District Attorney O'Pake.
Yes. Can I have a motion for the 5 juvenile probation positions?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Controller Yekenship,
Yes,
and Judge Russell.
Can I have a motion on the 4 controller office?
Next, I'll make that motion, sir.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Controller Yekenship.
yes.
Is there any new business for salary board? Can I motion to adjourn? Retirement board, report of any executive sessions?
There were none held.
Public comment for retirement board? Can I have a motion to approve the monthly meeting minutes of April 9th?
So moved.
Second?
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Controller Yekenship,
Yes.
Treasurer Yapa.
Yes.
Can I have the controller's report?
Good morning. During the month of April 2025, one member received a refund of $3,434. One member received a rollover of $18,954. 2 deceased retirees received pro rata payments of $352. The market value of the retirement fund as of April 30th, 2025 was $163,862,706. The total market value of the retirement fund as of May 14th, 2025 was, as of this morning, $169,262,046. Also, I'd like to say that Brenda Nelson is requesting to buy back 2 prior leaves of absences. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the controller's report?
So moved.
Second?
Question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Controller Yekenship,
Yes.
Treasurer Yapa.
Yes.
Any new business?
Motion to
for salary board? Motion to adjourn.